everyone. Yeah, let's get back to the main menu, right? Yeah. I don't know. I like that CG. It's cute. It reminds me that these people were friends at one point. Hello, Ian. Hello, Charles. I hope you are all doing the good. Sorry, I already opened a can of soda before I just finished eating. So here, let me grab another soda real quick. So I could open it on stream. Tradition do be tradition, right? Ah. Hello, Michael. Okay. 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 The ear ones, stop. No. I'm not getting a fucking ASMR microphone. Husky, I'm gonna move my mic real quick. Yeah. Alright. Where are we? Oh god, excuse me. Right, we are at the start of Sunday. Right? This is, I think this is the shortest Sunday in the game. I think so. So, I don't know how long this stream will be. Hopefully it'll be like at least somewhat lengthy. I don't know. If it ends up being too short, I can, I've got something else I can stream for like an hour or two. That might be weird. Okay. I stare into the rearview mirror, watching for any signs of tail lights in our wake. Leo's driving, of course. Carl's feeling woozy after everything that happened. I wish I was sitting in the back with him, but unfortunately my legs are too long. That and Leo's van is clearly not designed for folks with thick tails, so I gotta sit with my cheeks straddling the edge to make room. Hello, Selkie. He's sitting in between Jenna and TJ, with Dax and Chase in the back. There's been some chatter about what happened and what's bullshit and not bullshit. TJ is the only one who's been quiet. Though one thing is for certain, with everything that's happened, everyone seems pretty focused on getting out of town. What? I want Thanatos talking to you as what? What? No. And my Thanatos voice is way off what his like actual voice is, you know. It is no. I'm terrible at voicing that character. Leo doesn't floor it like I expected him to, but we move down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedy enough. Is that called a bench? Wait, bench of mountain? Is that like the base of it? What it? It's canon in my mind. It's like not even close to the description in game though. Down the bend? Is it supposed to be bend? I see Jenna look out her own window intently, and I can only imagine it's to see if she can spot Jeremy, maybe even her mother. Dude, I don't feel good. Chase got bit by a black widow, and he's been complaining less than you, Carl. I mean, fair. Speaking of, how are you holding up, Otter? Chase gives a half-hearted thumbs up, the mustelid's forehead resting against the side of the window. Carl, just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop. Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning. That gets TJ's attention, and he starts rubbing the ram's back slowly. Good thing smoothies probably aren't too bad on the way out. Depends on what's in it. I don't know. It depends on how, like, acidic the contents of, like... I don't know. It's weird. But they said it was, like, what, banana and apple? I don't know. I don't like the taste of bananas. I don't like banana smoothies. The only smoothies I get are chocolate, because I'm a child. TJ frowns. I turn the dial on the radio, but like the cell phone signal, I'm not getting anything. For now, I just turn up the AC and aim it toward my face. My head still throbbing up a storm. This feels like a dream, doesn't it? Leo speaks softly, too quiet for anyone behind us to hear. I wouldn't know. You put Chase in danger. Flynn puts a lot of people in danger, though. Right? Like, all the time. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna move my my mic again. I think it needs to be over here. Yeah, I think that's good. Flynn got to be, like, a cool pseudo-hero in, like, one route. That's all he gets. It's not even his own route. Oh, God. I cross my forearms over the dashboard and lean my face into them. I also saved his ass. I keep my voice low. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Carl peeking up to listen in. Don't excuse it. 7 years ago, I swore to Chase I'd fuck up anyone who pulled anything like what you just did. I'm not in the mood for this shit, Leo. You wanna hit me? Sure. Whatever keeps your alpha dog juices flowing. What kind of alpha dog fluids? What kind of what are we talking about? Leo goes quiet for a second, seemingly not having expected me to relent. You're gonna stay away from him, then. Gladly. It's funny. Dunno if I believe you. Jesus fuck. I can see him begin to fidget with the mirror, squinting at it for a second. He pushes the cab light on, and the interior of the van is quickly illuminated in the sort of too bright amber glow. What is it, Leo? I push myself up. Leo is still staring at the mirror. Chase, you shaved again? That is fine. Dak screams. What the fuck? I and the others quickly turn to see what the commotion is about. For a split second, I think I see something fading into the seat cushion between Daxton and Chase. It's this blackish-brown silhouette of a person. It reminds me of how when you stare at a light for a while and close your eyes, you can still see it for a moment. I blink and it's gone. You saw that, right? What in Sam Hill? Tell me you saw that. I don't know what I saw. And Carl's rubbing his eyes. I didn't see anything. Of course you didn't, Jenna. Likely story. What happened? Goddamn. I could feel that thing. Dax looks to Chase, who's clearly kind of out of it at this point. You remember what I told you about how, in the dream thing I had, I could feel your fur. It was just like that. Really? Huh. Chase's voice, Chase sounds nonplussed, the skin around his eyes a bit pale. It's clearly, it's unclear whether he saw what we did, the otter panting at the fabric of the spot where the silhouette was. It looked like you.
Relax, guys. It's just Chase. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't, guys. Chase is a good boy. This Chase is a good boy. Chase, the real Chase, groans. Yeah, sure. His voice is still weird and high-pitched, and it kind of seems like I'm the only person who's noticing. No, Leo. I'm talking about the fact that there were 2 friggin' Chases next to me.
Chase, do you know what's happening?
The otter grimaces some as he rolls his neck to look at me. It's the hysteria, man. It's like what the mayor and Duke said. People see stuff and go nuts. I'm just glad I'm not the only one seeing this stupid shit anymore. 2 Chases and a Daxton? 2 Chases. So, you're telling me that this some sort of collective psychosis, that you all are witnessing hallucinations at the same time.
Dude, I've been on acid before. You can at least tell that something weird's happening in your body when stuff starts popping up. All things considered, I'm like, okay, and still could see whatever the hell that was.
Let's throw out the one with the bad facial hair. Now wait a minute. If Chase wants bad facial hair, he's allowed. He can make bad decisions. Carl shifts nervously in his seat, the ram looking uncomfortable and having his back turned to the now empty space. Oh, Dragon, hello. It's like Shadow Chase. We got there. I am the shadow, the true self.
I saw it in the rearview mirror first.
Leo's still looking in said mirror. Look at the road, Leo. We're fucking fortunate we're on a straight shot road now, right?
He visits a lot.
Let's go! Jenna furrows her brow at the wolf. Leo? She pauses, noting the vacant look on Leo's face. Do you want me to drive for a bit?
That's funny.
I'm serious.
So am I.
Well, let's try not to think about this for now. That's a bit of a tall order. And Jenna shrugs uncomfortably. It's your choice. Can we just change the subject? A few minutes later, we're already passing the lake.
So is it Sunday already? Sunday morning. That's what the clock says. What a fucking day.
I don't say anything in response. We never got to ask Flynn's aunt about the thing.
We could always go back and ask.
What? No, I just... He's kidding, TJ. Oh. The Lynx stares at the space between his knees. Do you actually think she'd know anything about it, Flynn?
I don't know.
She and Mark knew enough about what happened with that body, though. Carl shivers and puts his head back down while TJ continues to rub his back. A few minutes of silence goes by before Carl speaks up again.
That feels kind of nice. Reminds me of my mom.
Yeah, actually my mom did it too. I thought it might help.
Hey, I love you. Just so you know, all you guys, I'm glad we're getting out of here.
Oh, Carl, my poor sweet summer child.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going back to Pueblo.
I raise a brow ridge at the ram.
And I'm taking you with me.
Oh. He points a thick finger towards me, leaning forward enough that he pokes me in the shoulder. I restrain a smile, instead letting out an idle grunt. Me? College? What a thought. The idea of being around guys my age and Carl. I'm not even sure what the hell I'd major in. Oh, come on, Flynn. You'd major in accounting. Or, like, communications. That's the lazy man's, major, right? Definitely not fucking, political science? I think that's what that is. I squeeze my wrist, trying to refocus. I love you too, Carl. And everyone else.
You too, Captain Daxton.
Captain? Oh, I was promoted. Cool. Daxton seems distracted, watching Chase stare at his own fingertips. Yeah. Chase affirms his love for everyone with a groggy monotone. He's a little bit here with us, guys. Not fully, but Chase is a little bit here. Jenna glances back at them before turning her attention out the window. Leo doesn't say anything from the front, his focus solely on the road ahead of him. Finally, looking at the fucking road, doing his fucking job. Are we at the clinic yet?
Still about 20 minutes out.
And watch the desert whip by us. For the first time, feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us. But of course, it doesn't last long. What's that? On the side of the road. There. Leo turns his head in the direction of something on the curb up ahead. We all do.
What is that?
Oh my gosh! TJ covers his mouth. Carl sits up straight, trying to see. Leo slows down as we pass. I still don't understand why he does fucking that. Oh, here, let me turn down the game audio just a little bit. Just a little bit. That heartbeat going. There's Chase's car, all of the windows shattered. And there's Duke lying a dozen feet away from the open door of the driver's side. And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. That's still a good CG. That's a good one. I like this update. Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head comes up, and all I see are 3 holes in blood. TJ screams next to me, and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. I try to look back, but whatever it was is gone. At least it's gone from where it was, because I see something move next to my window when I turn to face it, and it stares back at me. But only for a moment. That thing, whatever the fuck it is, disappears almost the instant I register that it's there. I'm only staring out into the blackness of the desert. Still, 3 holes, eyes, and a mouth blinking back at me in a sort of after image before that too vanishes. It's him! It's him! TJ reaches up and grabs my arm, claws out. Oh my god. I'm too shocked to even pull away at TJ as TJ leans forward next to me, staring out my window. At least I know I'm not the only one that saw it. TJ squeaks again, and when no one answers him, it's real!
I don't know. Some kind of animal, maybe?
I've never seen anything like that before.
Dude could have, had a disease. Lost all of its fur or something. Maybe Duke hit it.
But it was walking! How is Duke here? He was back at City Hall!
Maybe it dragged him?
Faster than our Carl? But, not Carl. I thought that was an L for a second. Faster than our car? How do you get Chase's car? I still have my keys on me. That's impossible.
I could have hotwired it. I don't know, man.
TJ leans back, looping his arm around Carl's, and I can see him shaking. I look over my shoulder, though, through the back window. Jesus fuck, just like Dax described. There, we've all seen it. It's how I remember, but I don't remember it ever moving that fast. Or with, blood. Jenna wrings her paws together, speaking quietly. Her tone is thoughtful and worried, as if she's trying to rationalize this all to herself.
Fuck. That's what got Salem, isn't it? Jesus. Don't fucking take your foot off the gas, Leo.
Leo doesn't respond, staring hard ahead. He's squeezing on the wheel so hard it looks like it's bending. I pull back the hammer on the repeater, holding the rifle across my chest with a barrel pointed towards the window. I remember Duke's pistol that I stowed in the car door handle earlier. I grab it and toss it into the back seat. Jenna grabs it without hesitation, aiming out the opposite side. I guess in this route, Jenna is like the second most with it. Would we trust Daxton with a gun? What do you think, guys? Would you trust Daxton with a gun? I guess those are our two options, are Jenna and Daxton for second most with it person. Jenna grabs. Oh yes. This is freaking nuts. At this point, Carl's. I keep saying Carl. A lot of. Chases car in a good distance away, only visible because the headlights are on, a streak of light fading out across the desert. Duke's dead, isn't he? Fucking Carl. Some dry, retching noises followed by heavy splattering sounds cuts me off. Sorry, I'm not gonna pretend to do vomiting noises. I'm not gonna pretend to be Eddie from Silent Hill 2. Sorry, guys. Carl is hunched over in the seat, a head between his legs. It isn't hard to figure out what just happened, especially when the smell hits me. Oh my gosh, Carl! TJ looks torn between blanching away and comforting the ram. Carl comes back up, looking like he's about to say something before diving forward again. A much louder retch, followed by a much quieter plopping sound, follows. I grimace, feeling my own stomach roll. God. Daxton's looking up at them, a paw up to his nose. You okay, man? Carl keeps his head down a while longer, his fingers twisting into the fabric of his shorts. TJ tentatively rubs his back.
I would have done it out the window. I don't want to open any windows now, though.
It's okay. Leo, are there any napkins up there? He's got some half-used tissues in the glove box. Leo, who's been silent up until now, remains silent. He's staring at the windshield hard, paws on the wheel in a death grip. Chase, meanwhile, is clutching at his chest, his eyes red and blurry. Bleary? He leans forward, and the sound of somewhat wet hits the fabric floor mat and is audible throughout the cabin. Chase's puke sounds much less wet than Carl's, the retching more grotesque. I can practically feel the bile in my own esophagus. Daxton stops and stops what he's doing and holds Chase. Fuck. The otter manages to exclaim in between the bouts of puking. Drink some water. During all this, I'm still glancing out the windows. Not head on, though, because I'm honestly fucking terrified I'm going to see straight into those eyes again. It's like looking in a mirror. We drive in silence for the next 5 minutes with no creature in sight, thankfully. But I don't know what to think right now. There's no way what I saw was some animal, like Carl implied. The way it moved, the way it was crouched, and most of all, its face. I've never seen anything like it, at least anything that's not a Halloween costume. Maybe one of the locals dressed up in a costume or something. Is this some sort of shitty prank show? Like that one on the science fiction channel? But then how the fuck did it keep up with the car? Were we going that fast? Leo did slow down a bit. I keep these thoughts to myself. Everyone looks freaked out enough without any more speculation. I feel trapped, like I'm stuck in a metal box I can barely move in, with a gun I can't aim. If this thing can outrun and rip at and rip at cars? Okay. Nothing is safe. I just have to focus. We're on our way out, and soon I'll be safe in a clinic, police station, or an applauding audience, surrounded by a shit ton of cameras. If it's the latter, I'm decking the first fucker that comes out with a microphone. I try not to think about Duke by the car, Salem on the blanket, my aunt out there trying to keep everyone sane. With that thing. I shake my head, trying to stay watch for any sign of movement. Are you okay, Chase? TJ's arm is still around Carl's, the lynx craning his neck to peer back at the hunched-over otter. I've never been so freaking scared in my life. But yeah, I'm okay. Chase grasps at his throat and neck, wincing heavily. It's getting harder to breathe. Hold on, Chase.
No, how can... What?
The car lurches as Leo slows down again. Friggin' what a dweeb. Everyone keeps saying friggin' in this route. Like, Daxton says it, and I'm just like, oh, come on, guys. Just say fuck. You're all adults. Whatever. I squint my eyes, attempting to peer past the glare of the headlights' reach and into the darkness beyond. But I don't see anything, just the road stretching ahead of us. From the back seat, Chase's croaking high-pitched voice peaks up. What's wrong? Leo's quiet for a moment. His face is blank, ears twitching.
Don't worry about it, Otter. Just a little distracted, that's all. That's a fucking understatement.
Why'd we stop? TJ sounds panicked. The lynx turned around in his seat as he stares out the back window. It's the first time I've seen him in a car without his seatbelt on. Leo is silent, his vacant expression contorting to brief flickers of confusion. He's looking to the mountains that surround Echo Canyon. Wait. I know what you mean. Jenna scoots forward to the edge of her seat, pointing to something outside. The hills. They were on our right side a while ago. We must have looped around. But we were going straight this whole time! The only way we'd be going back this way is if we got turned around when we hit the main highway. But we haven't hit the main highway, have we? Chase presses his furry cheeks against the window, his tired eyes bulging? What the goddamn? He trails off. So we just seemingly transition from going one way to the other without anyone noticing? No. Leo must have gotten off and turned around on the side road that I...
There's no way!
Man, of course Jenna is just gonna blame Leo for, like, no reason. Like, come on, Jenna. He slaps the steering wheel hard, a honk ringing out and echoing throughout the valley of desert scrub beyond the guardrail. TJ gasps, digging his claws into the fabric of the seat. Please don't do that! Let's be quiet, okay? Leo, we're going the wrong way. Jenna speaks as calmly as possible, clearly aware of the wolf's addled mental state, the mind palace, bad, but also the fact that she's now holding Duke's pistol. Powerful. Leo brings the car to a hard stop, throwing me forward into the seatbelt. Then he does a quick three-point turn, shoving me right, then left before I'm smacked back into the seat as Leo accelerates again. I hear a soft thunk of flesh on glass, then a groan from the back. Yeah, from the back. Chase rubbing his face with a sore-looking nose. His poor little nose. Injury upon injury. Are you okay? No. He responds back hoarsely, sinking back further into the scratchy fabric of his seat. Oh, same. Oh my god. Daxton does a curt nod. Leo is sitting upright, only moving with a rigid like a goddamn. Rigid? Moving with rigid like a goddamn automaton. Yes. We both stare at the windshield, eyes to the horizon. It's clear that Leo doesn't want any talking, so we're all quiet. Take a breath, shut up. The word wasn't happening. The word got stuck. Door stuck. Ever in silence, I can feel the growing unease from those behind us, the trembling of muscles and clicking of claws. I try to block it out, to just focus on watching what's ahead. All things considered, it's not so bad as long as I can keep the fear from clouding my mind. Though, that could be said about most things in life. We just have to keep driving to get out of this fucking town. We can't get sidetracked again, especially with that fucking eyeless thing around. I wonder if it heard the horn earlier. I focus on the mountain now, making sure that they don't disappear. They slope up and down gently under the moonlight, speckled with the dark spots of rocks and vegetation. Vaguely, I remember back when I was younger, leading Sydney around the bend and entertaining his explorer fantasies. Sydney seemed like a fun kid. Maybe a little violent, but maybe that's extra fun. Who knows? I brought my BB gun, and he'd run around, shooting a mesquite trees, and looking for signs of lost native treasure. I told him that the pioneers thought that there was a city of gold buried beneath the mountainous topsoil, waiting to be unearthed. He fucking loved that. Even brought a little trench shovel, too, as he put it, dig his own mine. Pretty sure he thought that the whole reason for Echo's old mine, to find the city and shit. It wasn't a complete lie either. That tribe supposedly told the conquistador types that treasure and riches were stored aplenty in the Meseta territory around here centuries ago. Of course, it was so they'd fuck off and bother their rivals instead of them, but the prospectors did eventually find gold in the mountain. All Sydney ever found was some feldspar and alabaster quartz. He kept a whole collection. I blink, staring out the window as the mountains just disappeared, sloped down into nothing. I squint, then I look out Chase's window in the back. Surely enough, mountains.
Leo, don't worry about it.
Leo speeds up instead and turns around, though.
Dude!
Well, what are you doing?
TJ claws come out against my skin again as he gets that scared cat look in his eyes. Leo mumbles, mostly to himself.
We're just confused. There's no way this leads back to Echo.
Leo, slow down a bit. Leo lets out a small growl, and I instinctively clutch my rifle a little tighter. This is getting out of hand, but honest to God, don't have a fucking better idea.
I'm gonna keep going until I see that car we passed.
The tone in Leo's voice keeps, it keeps any of those in the back from arguing. Though I hate to admit it, something about his demeanor actually shuts me up as well. It's because you're a bottom. Another minute of driving, more awkward silence then. Leo hisses through his teeth. Straight ahead of us, a sign. What? How in the shit? Echo Mine? Danica entrance?
That's on the other side of town.
I say this as if it can't possibly be where we're at. Though, there it is. It stands out 8 feet tall, excuse me. A faded wood with that touristy Wild West font placard that the county commissioned a couple years ago. The sign's only readable because our headlights are right on it. The original solar face lights having been destroyed by junkies a year ago. They... Look, it's fine. It's fine. Leo thins his lips, driving right past it. The minutes pass, and it becomes increasingly difficult to place exactly where we are. On this side of town, I can see that smoke from earlier, more clearly too. The smell, like burnt charcoal, seeps into the cabin through the AC. Leo, can I drive? I have better eyes for night stuff. No offense, of course. Leo says nothing, though the wolf begins to pull off the side of the road, only to flip around and go the other way again. Jenna lets out a strange sigh. It's laden with her common exasperation, but there's a slight quiver in her vocal cords. We keep going, and more time passes. Daxton mutters something I can't quite make out to Carl, who has been oddly silent, his paws over his face. I occasionally catch Chase looking at me in the rearview mirror. Despite his shit with the spider bite, he looks more, well, animated than I've ever seen him in a long time. What is Sam Chase not very animated? I know that they always describe Chase as a rock post, like, possession, but that's fun, you know? It is what it is. It is what it is. There's a lot less staring off into the distance, and a more active grimacing, a muttered soft-core swears, and darting eyes. I never realized how yellow his eyes are before. Were they always that bright? More time passes, and as we are around a bend, Jenna crawls halfway onto the mid-seat console and points ahead. That's where Duke and Chase's car was. It's not there now. How can you tell? Daxton keeps craning his neck to see past me. The corner looks familiar, but where's the car? I remember that thing. Its silhouette was outlined against a group of pinyon trees by the guardrail. TJ makes a whining noise. I recognize it too. There's no broken glass, tire marks, or blood, though. Absolutely no remnant of the memory to be found. God.
There's nothing there. Don't worry.
He, of course, is directing these reassuring solely to Chase, because he cares about him, cares about me. His tone is so soft, it's almost cooing, treating Chase like a child.
That's what makes us worried, you hollow-headed bitch.
Leo doesn't react right away, then out of the corner of his eye, out of my eye, he slowly begins to turn his head to look directly at me. He's fucking bizarre. He just stares, his gaze like a goddamn plastic doll's. Flynn, just don't interact. Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna watch the mountains.
Let us know if they decide to flip around. He lets out a dry, terrified chuckle. And Jenna returns to her seat, her eyebrows scrunched. It's like we're stuck in some kind of loop. Jenna gives Daxton a quizzitive look, as seemingly baffled anyone could find humor in this. What? It's just, well, it's nothing. Go on, we've got time, apparently. Yeah, exactly, I mean. He exhales, shaking his head. And Ad Astra, Carl groans, his displeasure muffled by the pause over his face. Some kind of was always the go-to line of Captain Amicus whenever he encountered something he didn't quite understand. Daxton leans his head back, his bald noggin pushing against the headrest. It's like we're so bad. Oh my god! Wait, that's not a line. That's not a real line, right, Ian? That's not real. I didn't watch either of those movies. I don't know. That's not a real line, right? No. 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 That's terrible. Daxton leans his head, his bald noggin resting into the headrest. Some kind of alien transporter, some kind of time paradox, some kind of matter replicator, some kind of reproductive goo, and so on. And this helps us how? Well, I don't think it does. It's just sort of funny, I guess. It's like I'm in an episode with a group of wacky characters. Okay, Daxton. Wacky, huh? Jenna responds, monotone, as she returns her focus to the window. I'm just really glad I'm not alone. No one speaks after that. As the truck's engine pulls up to another hill, I see something come into view through a clearing of cacti.
Oh, fuck me gently.
Flynn. Flynn, please. Echo mine, Danica entrance.
No.
TJ whines. Leo slows down more and more until we come to a gentle stop. We sit there in silence, staring at the faded text and the gravel trail that leads into the canyon head. Leo starts muttering darkly to himself. Looking out the window, then at the dashboard. This is a good Leo. I like the Leo in this route. I don't ask him if he's okay. I know what the answer is. TJ continues to make soft whimpering sounds like he's trying not to cry.
It's okay. It's just dark, and we're going off-road somehow.
Leo whispers whatever comes to mind to explain what the fuck is happening. Carl still has his head down and his paws completely quiet. He could be asleep for all I know. I think about suggesting that maybe we just wait it out until morning in the car. But as I open my mouth, I hear a scratching noise towards the back of the car. TJ's ears perk up, which lets me know that I'm not the only one. Instinctively, I turn around in my seat. Bits of glass fly into my face, and the next thing I know, I'm down in my seat, headed down with my rifle raised towards the hole.
Get down!
Carl ducks, and Jenna and TJ lurch away to their respective sides of the car, TJ accidentally opening his car door and nearly tumbling out. Of course he fucking does. Close the door! Close the door! Carl manages to get a hold of the links, trying to tug him back upright as TJ cries, flailing about. I can't get a good shot. Carl's big head bobs up and around as something moves around outside towards the newly opened car door. A shot rings out, though not from me. Wide-eyed looking, Jenna holds her smoking pistol up and fires. A sharp crack reverberates through the cabin once more. Carl, very much awake now, slams TJ's car door shut and screams at Leo.
Go, go,
go! Leo's already on it, and I feel the car jolt forward. Then I'm bouncing up and down in the seat as we go off-road, Leo not bothering with a 3-point turn this time, instead going for a full U-turn. We're back to the asphalt, speeding down the road while when I feel it's safe enough to raise my head, back up and look out the back window. Why does Carl sound like Shaggy? Because he's the Shaggy of this game, you know what I mean? Like, his color's green and everything, you know? For real, for real. For a moment, I'm terrified that I'm going to find that thing crouched on the trunk, staring in at us. But instead, all I see is a giant hole through the back window, the remaining glass, jagged.
Awful? What do you mean, Michael? Oh god, are you guys okay?
Daxton looks back and forth between us and the road behind the van. Chase, meanwhile, looks like he's about to throw up again, his mousselid features crunched in a tight grimace as he shivers with fear and other general unwellness. I sit up fully, keeping my sights, not size, my sights, there's a T there, a train on the back.
Yeah.
I yell at him over the sound of the car and the wind whistling around behind me.
Jenna, did you get it?
I don't know. Carl is bent over in his seat, too Yes, 2. Brushing glass from his hat and hoodie. Hat and hoodie? Yes, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Uh, I look at TJ, who's still crouched over to his own seat, covering his head. Bits of glass are scattered on his back and head. I pick some of the pieces out from the fur on his neck and lean over to him. TJ, are you alright? TJ shudders and doesn't say anything as Jenna plucks some of the shards from under his collar.
What was that?
Daxton shouts back at us, staring through the window.
Fuck if I know.
I don't want to think about what I actually think it was. I just need to be ready if it comes again. Leo keeps up the high speed, hitting some of the potholes hard enough that I'm worried we're going to get a flat. Then we'd be in some real deep shit. We drive on for another 5 minutes in silence. And then the sign appears in front of us again. This time, no one says anything, and Leo doesn't bother turning around. I watch out my window as we fly past the historic path, but nothing happens. All I see is the tall pieces of wood with the broken lights, and all I hear is the wind whipping around us. Jenna keeps a paw on TJ's back as he remains hunched over, the others still holding Duke's pistol. Carl sits quietly, staring out his window. On the bright side, the bashed-in back window has diminished the smell of sick, and the smoke smell is stronger than ever. Sparse dots of light show up on the horizon, indicating where Echo is. That's when Leo speaks up.
How about we head to my house? You guys can get some sleep while Chase and I figure out what to do next and have sex.
That was there, trust me. That was in the script. Leo pauses, waiting for an answer. What? Sure. I'd rather not meet the same fate as the guy on the blanket. Yeah, I reckon that sounds... I shift myself onto one knee in the seat, the old thing creaking under my weight. I have to hunch low so that my head isn't smushed against the ceiling, quietly praying that Leo doesn't hit any serious bumps in the road. There's a sinking feeling in my stomach at the thought of going back to Echo. A part of me wonders whether Duke and Chase's car are still there, and we just imagined that whole grisly scene. Yeah, it was just in our imagination.
Oh, look, there he is. There he is, guys. Look at him. Look at him over there.
I stare out the window, watching the hill move slowly by under the moonlight as we turn onto Lake Emma Road. Maybe taking one of the mountain roads out of town would be worth it, whether we'd have enough gas when it happens. A crouched figure sits at the peak of the hill, just about 50 feet from where we were. I squint at it, just to be barely able to make out what looks like shoulders and a head hunched up under the light of the moon.
Oh shit.
I'm directly across from the thing when I open my mouth. And I'm barely able to make out a sound when it moves. It dashes down the hill in the blink of an eye, covering the distance between it and our car in a matter of 2 seconds. One moment, I'm staring at the tiny black figure, and the next is it's right up against the car, smashing into the side between my door and Jenna's. My head smacks into the glass, and I see a flash of white. At the same time, I hear Jenna shout at us to hold on. TJ screams. Carl yells. The lake. I watched as water begins to pool in through the broken window, the jagged glass getting carried in through the flow. The van is already halfway submerged. We crashed into the fucking lake. How can that be? We were nowhere near it. The water is shockingly cold and rising up to my knees. TJ yelps something incomprehensible. I see Leo thrashing with his seatbelt, trying to get unbuckled as the car battery shorts out and the cabin lights go dark.
Carl!
The hyperventilating ram splashes about behind him.
I can't open my door.
I can hear the sound of door handles being yanked.
That is that word. That's what I'm looking at. That's what that is.
I grab my own, press the unlock button, and push outwards. But the pressure of the water is too much. It doesn't budge. I try to wrangle my rifle up to the butt of the glass, but it doesn't. But my seat got pushed too far up to in the impact. I can barely move with my chest pushed up against the dashboard. Straightening to wiggle free, I end up scraping my head against the roof.
Piece of shit!
God damn, my stupid lanky ass. Ah. You know, it's Flynn's defining feature. For real. Carl, use your head.
I don't know what to do, dude!
The horns. Do the ram thing. Do the ram thing? Okay. I realize what Daxton's trying to say.
Fucking species features. Go, Carl! Okay!
There's a shuffling of movement, followed by a hard slam. Glass shatters, and more water comes rushing in. There's a flurry of movement out my window as first Jenna, then Carl, then TJ go through the window. Soon the water's up to my nostrils, and my blood goes cold. I remember my uncle telling me something after we watched a movie with a scene like this. Until the pressure is equalized, you can't open the door. It doesn't stop me from wrenching onto the handle regardless. I push my mom up to the roof and take a large, deep breath before being fully submerged. The metal underbelly of the van scrapes against the rocks on the lake floor, which makes a downright horrifying sound underwater. With one hard push, my door finally opens, and I begin to squeeze my way out. I look over my shoulder, seeing the faint outline of rust-colored fur in the back of the van. Leo, seemingly trying to get Chase. My lungs begin to burn, and I realize I can't see the surface. I kick my legs, trying to push myself off the slimy lake bed. The pressure on my eardrums are like drills pushing into my skull. You have eardrums? The seconds pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, I breach the surface. After a moment, the water splashes and Chase and Leo emerge from the depths. Leo, I'm a fucking otter. I'm fine.
Guys!
Carl pants, the ram appearing to be clutching one paw onto TJ's shoulder to keep afloat. He can't really swim well, thanks to his hooves. TJ looks to be struggling to keep their chin both above the waterline.
Where's Dudeman?
What?
Daxton!
I don't know. Did anyone see where that thing went?
We need to get out of the water. It could be here with us. I know it.
TJ's voice sounds like a mix of a whisper and a shout.
Please.
His voice cracks like a 12-year-old's as he stutters from a mixture of the cold water and shock. I look around the mass of bobbing heads that surround me, but neither Daxton or whatever attacked us is anywhere in sight. In fact, land is like 100 yards away.
How in the fuck? Daxton! Dax!
Carl, you need to stop yelling. Jenna's tone is hushed but firm, the wet phoenix looking like a soggy mop in the moonlight. I notice a glint of metal and realize she's still holding Duke's gun. Probably useless at this point. I left mine on the lake floor. TJ's right. We need to get to shore. There's a coldness in her voice, one controlled by fear. It takes her a moment to realize what she's saying, and a horrible contortion of worry and guilt crosses her soaked features. Chase, can you get him? I don't know. I don't know.
No way. You're in no condition.
TJ looks down, opening his mouth to speak, but nothing but whispers escape him.
Fucking hell. He's probably all the way down in the van. We gotta get him!
He's a salamander, right? I know his kind can hold his breath a little longer than we can.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck he's dawdling though. Chase, you're the only fucker who can hold your breath that long.
He can barely breathe as is, Flynn.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Carl pushes himself off TJ.
I sink like a stone anyway.
Is he this fucking stupid? I swiftly doggy paddle my way over, grabbing the ram's arm and forcing him around my shoulder.
Yeah, you fucking will. And how's your stoned ass gonna get the both of you back up?
I think I can...
No, we need to get you to shore.
I notice Leo's paw wrap around Chase's waist, preventing the otter from diving. Daxton's down there, and everyone's acting like a complete bag of assholes.
God, fuck it! Carl, try not to sink!
The ram blinks as I push away from him, but then nods in understanding.
Oh, I'll be fine. Jesus, good luck, man!
I take a deep breath, rolling my shoulders forward, and begin diving down. I have to fight my body's own natural buoyancy to keep from returning to the surface. I kick hard. I make myself open my eyes, and the first thing that hits me is how dark it is. Here I am, forcing myself to go deeper into the frigid nothingness, like I know what the hell I'm doing. The pressure builds up against my around my skull. I don't have time to acclimate or any of that other diver shit. I'm tall. This should be easy. I just need to grab onto the van. It wasn't that far down, was it? Except I don't see the van. Okay. What I do see is are the blue of Daxton's eyes staring at me through the murk. I can't even see the rest of them. I wave, hoping the fluorescent orange markings on my body are enough to get his attention. My lungs are starting to burn, and I have an increasing urge to just open my mouth and breathe in water. No response, just eyes. I swim closer, and the eyes seem to get bigger. Finally, I see the outline of Daxton. He's just floating there, not doing anything. I reach out to him, and a flurry of bubbles escapes his maw. He's screaming, veins bulging along the sides of his neck. The salamander swats me away. Stupid planet shirt, and I tug. Oh. There we go. Alright. I managed to snag one of my claws on his stupid planet shirt and tug hard. He thrashes, kicking and screaming into the void. It feels like I'm pulling him into it. Is that what he sees? Can I see anything at all? Can he see anything at all? I'm starting to feel faint. The pounding of my heart in my chest, that deafening the already muffled cries of Daxton. This is all so familiar. Clenching my eyes shut, I scoop at the water like I'm climbing a mountain, legs kicking like crazy. Don't pass out. Don't you fucking pass out. What seems like a geyser of water splashes up in front of us. I gasp, straining for air. Right, it was, what is it? It's, Chase goes down and gets a Daxton, if you choose to talk to Leo, right? Right? If I remember right? Because it's, Daxton talks about how he dove down specifically to, help Flynn, right? If I remember right. Actually, I think Leo does. Is it Leo? Okay. You know what I mean. It's not Flynny boy. I find myself in an inadvertent embrace with Daxton, our bodies shivering together.
Where in the shit did that voice come from?
As quickly as we embrace, Daxton shoves himself off me, jolting free. His gaze is still wild with terror. He rises within the water as if it's some terrible force that's nipping away at his breath. The surface. Beneath the surface? Beneath the surface. Before we get it later? Yeah, it's neat. It's neat. The salamander takes off, swimming as fast as he can towards the shoreline. I think he's got the right idea. Come on. We all follow suit, though I'm having some trouble keeping up. My arms are like jello. Unsurprisingly, Daxton's the first to the shore, then Jenna, TJ, Carl, Leo, Chase, and finally me. All my adrenaline is completely tapped out at this point, and I fall to my knees in the sand. And Daxton's clearly trying to put some distance between him and the lake, though not going too far as to, out of the shoreline with the rest of us. He paces back and forth, a jitter. I can't believe you actually rescued him. I grunt, trying to rub what feels like lake gunk out of my eyes.
Dax,
Daxton stops.
the hell were you doing there?
Trying to save you.
His tone is intense, the salamander clearly trying to reconcile whatever the hell happened back there.
The hell were you? That's what I was doing.
No, the hell you were. I can't read. You all know this. My mind just sentences go gone.
I thought I saw you, drifting off further down into the lake. You weren't moving. Anytime I tried to grab you, you just drifted further away, with your back facing me. Eventually, I couldn't see you anymore. It was too dark.
He rubs his hands over his biceps rapidly, trying to warm them.
Did you hear the voice too?
No, there wasn't any noise but the water rushing around my head.
He exhales, looking briefly at Carl, then back to me.
I'm sorry I panicked. When you touched me down there, I didn't realize it was you. You were all red.
Red?
At first, and then, well, I flipped my shit, I guess, until we hit the surface, and you were there, and I got overwhelmed, and...
You hugged me.
He cocks his head slightly.
I'm pretty sure you were the one who was hugging me.
Terrible, Ian. Terrible.
Don't think so.
I did.
You swear you didn't hear a voice.
He holds up the flats of his palms, shaking his head.
I swear I didn't, man. Out of all of the surreal whatnots that's been transpiring, voices ain't one of them.
Knife round. Daxton looks back towards the water, then backsteps a few more paces. I'm not just imagining this, am I? Fucking hell. Chase seems to be trying to recoil himself from Leo, his breath wheezy as he soon breaks out into a raspy cough. Leo quickly rewraps an arm around him, patting his back gently with one of his massive paws.
Easy, easy. We're safe now. The fuck we are.
I peer around. Even with my eyes having to adjust it to the dark, I'm still having a hell of a time seeing beyond 20 yards. Jenna gives me a quick nod, holding up Duke's pistol to show me she still has it. The soaked fennec would look comical were it not in the direness of the situation. She must put so much conditioner into her fur to keep it that fluffy.
Whoa! That's 2 saves now, dude.
Carl proceeds to fall flat on his back, spreading eagle in the sand, his hefty gut rising and falling.
You're pretty good at this crazy land stuff.
He sounds so casual about it, like this is one of his video games, and I'm somehow not getting my ass kicked at it.
Come on, everyone. Let's get a move on.
He didn't deserve...
TJ mumbles something, the lynx sitting with his arms around his knees, staring out into the lake. He makes an effort to scramble back a few feet as the tide comes in. Jenna moves over beside him, hugging the lynx from the side. Shush. We just need to get to Leo's. Leo lives on the outskirts of the town, by the old railway tracks. It's fairly isolated from the rest of town. Going there is not the worst idea, but if that fucking thing could catch us in the van, going 50... Fuck. I saw how it moved too. Like a strobe light was being turned on and off, and it got closer with every pulse.
That is still the plan.
Leo affirms with a nod, the wolf standing upright and ready. He's trying not to show his exhaustion and fear. And TJ's just looking at Chase now, and he's got a shimmer in his eyes. He's crying again, like a little bitch.
Chase, did Sydney? How long did he? Did he?
He cuts off before he can finish. Come on, TJ, we have to go. We need to put TJ to bed. You know how he is when he gets like this. Chase looks over him. His expression is harder to read. What? Everyone but Chase seems to be pretending they're not hearing the whimpering TJ, ushering him along. I race to my feet, nearly tripping over myself as I get used to solid ground again. Jenna pulls TJ up with her, trying to move the links along. Leo also follows suit, holding Chase up to the shallow incline, though the loomy soil into the basin of dry grass. TJ peers back over to look over his shoulder. He's still looking at Chase. That's when I noticed the large rock with the sole pinion, how is this word? How is this tree pronounced? Pinion? Tree overhanging it. There's little bullet holes in the side of the trunk, 22 caliber. I made those. I look around, right where Carl's laying. I see it. His blank stare, the blue eyes. He reminds me of a fish.
This is where it happened.
Carl sits upright, still clearly trying to catch his breath. You got it the first go, I think. Pinion? Pinion? I don't even know. I don't know what the first thing I said was. At first, he doesn't seem to understand, but then the realization hits him as he sees the tree.
Oh shit!
Carl rises up to to his hooves, gawking at the tree. He's still...
That thing I saw when I wrecked my car. The one that brought us here just now. It did it for a reason, you know. I mean, I used to think my house was haunted.
Oh yeah, he's in that outfit, right? I kind of forgot as well.
That it came with the territory of Big Spooky Mansion. But maybe it's us.
Carl extends out his paws to his surroundings. I assume he meant the whole group. I sigh, feeling rather vulnerable out in the open without my repeater.
The hysteria. It's affecting the whole town. Everyone goes crazy in their own way. So what my aunt always told me.
And it even got her in the end. Get all hot and hey, it's not that bad. Also, hello, Kapika. I wonder if she's okay, or if they found some other poor schmuck to blame the end times on.
Then, why are we all seeing this?
He just gesticulates with a swirl of his hand to the tree and then to the lake itself, before letting his arm fall limply at his side.
We're all here for a reason.
We meet each other's gaze, and Carl suddenly lets out a small chuckle, rubbing the space between his horns.
Unless I'm just imagining you seeing this.
I let out a puff of air and rubbed my face.
You're dreaming about me. Seems like it.
He shrugs.
Next time, cut out the horror games before going to bed, yeah? I haven't seen a single zombie. It's bullshit.
He looks toward the lake and sombers.
Just kidding. Yeah.
I'm not immediately sure what to say. In the distance, the group looks to be trudging through the dried-up reeds and heading towards the train tracks down the pass. They're not waiting for us, which I guess is understandable, noting Chase's condition. Carl's watching them too, though he doesn't seem overly antsy to rejoin them.
If Sid were, you know, a ghost or a spirit or something, he wouldn't hurt us.
Carl looks a little surprised, shifting his attention back towards me.
What makes you so sure?
I can tell by the tone in Carl's voice that he doubts that. I remember Carl was really sensitive growing up, sheltered by the folks, so something fierce. He'd cry and eat and cry, was basically a fat, spoiled TJ. It took me a while to figure him out, and for Sid, he didn't really have much grace with sensitive types.
He was cool. I know you two never got along, but he had things rough at home. He loved hanging out with the group and all. Hell, he thought TJ was cool. What? No way! Well, he never said as much plain like, he just wanted to be him, I guess. To believe God was real and had a plan. To be good without having to try so hard. To have folks who gave a shit about him. Dude, those last 6 months.
I think back to Chase's words.
I know. He wasn't himself. Not really.
After a long pause, he shrugs.
If you say so, I believe it. I was different then too, I guess. I was just a child, and now I'm a man-child.
I wave off the thought. At least Carl seems calmer now, or at least is doing a good job at blocking out the terror. He's still got his tie on, though his shirt's completely soaked through, and I can see his chest underneath when he faces the moonlight.
Man, if this wasn't real. Anything you'd want to say to not real me?
Without hesitation, Carl speaks.
Not a real big fan of fishing, dude.
Same. I furrow my brow at him and sigh before beginning to trudge through the sand after the others. I can't even see him now. They must have picked up the pace.
Dude!
I stop. His voice is softer, apologetic.
But I like when you take me out, even if it seems like I'm whining the whole time. There's no seems like about it. You do whine the whole time.
A brief, sad smile crosses his thick muzzle. Ah, hello. You guys still here? The salamander peers at us worriedly. Carl and I exchange glances, then nod. Good, that's good. I lost the group. I don't know where Leo's house is, and they kept walking faster, then they just, Dexton toys with his zipper at the bottom of his hoodie. Must have gone ahead of me.
It's okay. I think we're supposed to be here.
Carl, please.
Right, dude?
Carl looks to me. I cross my arms, unsure how confident I feel about this whole tapping into paranormal hunches. Paranatural? Paranormal?
I don't know. It's just a feeling. The thing could have killed us easy enough and didn't. Instead, we're here.
So we're here, exactly? Oh, so where's here exactly?
Where our friend died. Well, where he drowned and later died in a hospital.
Carl's bluntness takes even me off guard. There's no coldness in his tone, just the truth.
That's terrifying. I'm sorry I asked.
After a moment, he speaks again.
And sorry for your loss. I feel like this past week I've just been a dingleberry on you guys.
Is that phrasing? Do people say that? Is that real?
It's okay. It's cool you're here.
Everyone goes quiet. Daxton occasionally looks over his shoulder to see if there's any sign the group sent someone back for us. Yes, yep, it is. What dialect? What part of America says the fucking that? I'm starting to realize how exhausted I am. Coasting on adrenaline for an hour straight will really take the wind out of you. I lower myself first to a squat, then sit cross-legged in the sand. My dad liked that word a lot. What the? Despite all the water and vegetation, the air still feels kind of dry and smoky.
I wonder where the fire's coming from.
No response. I look over and Carl and Daxton are sitting together, watching the tide. They look as tired as I am.
What do you want to happen here?
Carl eventually speaks, his tone droll and somewhat monotone. I look toward the tree with the bullet holes.
I want to know what happened.
They're gone. Well, I hope you're happy, Flynn. Echo heard you and was like, bet. I spy the ass prints of Carl and Daxton in the sand next to me, but they're nowhere in sight. I quickly race to my feet, hesitant to call out to them, noting what happened earlier. I move up to the top of the hill next to us, stepping through the dry grass. As I look around, I see no movement beyond the rolling tide of the waves, illuminated only by the slight moonlight.
Fuck!
My whole plan of waiting here for something to happen seemed a whole lot better when I had others around. Now that I'm alone and unarmed, my gall is starting to fucking wane. They must have went to Leo's house. I mean, surely they'd fucking wait for me first, right? Did I even pass out? It felt like I just blinked and then, bam, gone. For a moment, it feels like something's tugging the back of my shirt. I turn, expecting to see the bulbous face of Carl at my side, but there's no one there.
Hey, assholes! Where are you?
I let out a harsh whisper directed at the desert scrub around me, full of ticks. Again, no response. I sigh, rubbing my palms over my face. There's no choice. Gotta get to Leo's. My gaze drifts back to the beach and the bullet-ridden pinyon tree. I'm struck with the strange sense of solace, as if this spot would be somehow tranquil to me if circumstances were different. For now, I take stock of what's still in my soggy pocket. Keys, phone, dead as hell, probably fried. Put it in some rice. And an old granola bar wrapper. Wait, you just have a granola bar wrapper in your pocket? Flynn. Come on, lad. With a grunt, I make my way to the beach and toward our rock trail tracks. I follow the familiar route, passing the occasional abandoned freighter car. It's been about 15 minutes, and so far no sight or sounds of the gang or any other miscellaneous townsfolk. I inadvertently find myself walking to the top of the rails, balancing like a kid again. It kind of keeps the edge off and softens the noise of my footsteps, though it ain't very time efficient. It feels like by now I should be at Leo's house, but so far, nothing. It isn't until the tracks dead end perpendicular to the highway that I realize I'm being fucked with again. I stand at the edge of the pavement where the old bike lane has been overtaken by weeds, pavement crumbled to gravel. I had hoped that the what is this word? Shenanigans would end once we exited the van, but goddamn, why would it? You're going the right way. Sam's leading you to fun times. The back of my skull tingles, and I cup hands over the sides of my head. That wasn't my goddamn thought. To Leo's. I ask aloud, like the fucking loony I am. I wait. No response. I clench my fists to my sides.
Fuck it. Fuck this.
I take off in a run down the road, keeping the power lines on my right. I run mindlessly, trying damn well the nature of the loop, but trying not to think about it. I'm not usually the sort to do my running in echo on account of the centuries worth of broken glass that line the sides of the road. That and the fact that the sight of a 6'7" Gila sprinting tends to naturally raise alarm, even with folks who already know who I am. Somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour passes before I see something ahead. I stop somewhere along the center line of the winding old highway, the cracked asphalt feeling like it's chipping away at my already blistered heels. Lit! I stare at the faded red building. My truck is parked in the front for some reason.
Why the fuck am I here?
Right.
Why do you come here?
For the social aspect, come on, Sam. Like the only social life that Flynn has. The voice in my head is clearer than before, like some harsh whisper coming from inside the back of my neck and slinking its way into my head. It almost feels like I thought the words myself.
Is that a fucking clue?
It's a mystery. My thought was rhetorical, and hearing it respond so aptly takes me off guard. I clutch my throbbing head in both hands. I've gone full fucking schizo. When the weird shit's on the outside, it's one thing, but on the inside, I grimace, bracing myself against the gate in front of me. Gate? There's no gate in front of this place in real life. I take a closer look and see the entire place is fenced off, like some kind of high-security complex. A tarnished rebarred gate is the only entrance point, my truck just on the other side. It's only up to my chest in terms of height, though it's got security spikes about a foot along the top. A single key lock is all that keeps each side of the gate together. It doesn't look too sturdy. I eye my truck through the bars and then check to make sure I still have my keys in my pocket. Sure enough, I feel the familiar leather Sagrero keychain between my fingers. Without even thinking, I take my keys, flipping through the ones from City Hall. I grab the sides of the lock and push in the key, twisting. To my surprise, it keeps turning. I keep turning my wrist without resistance and hear the lock click as the fastening point comes unlatched. I stare at the lock, feeling a fleeting sense of accomplishment. It soon falters as I note that the lock being there in the first place doesn't make a lick of sense.
What the fucking fuck?
Also, the tips of my fingers that were grabbing the lock appear to have been stained black, a paint of some kind. Someone must have painted the lock recently, though the fence itself still looks pretty faded. Right, it's the it's the entrance of the mine, right? I wipe my hands off the back of my pants and push open the gate. It only opens about 6 feet wide, nowhere near enough to get my truck through. If I revved hard and gunned it, I probably could break through, though I've got a feeling that's not what I'm supposed to do. There's not really a fence in front of this place. This isn't fucking real, but I'm seeing it. So why am I seeing it? That's the fucking question, right? Duke's words from earlier come to mind. Thing is, we've all got something after us. Something bad. Won't let you leave when it starts. What's after you? As if knowing would fucking help right now. If if not just be even more confusing in the long run. I half expect the voice from earlier to speak again, but it's silent, just a dull throb in the back of my head. The smart thing to do, the logical thing, as Dax would put it, would be to sit down under a nice tree and just ride this out like a bad trip. Maybe get some sleep. That could fix it. All like turning a computer off and on again. I peer up at the sky. The red lights from the building make it seem as though the sky itself was blood red, expanding to various pinkish hues to the horizon. Like fucking hell, I could get a wink in during this shit. The pounding in the back of my skull just keeps thudding away, a constant beat that reverberates through my head like a cavern. I step up to the door with the engraved bit of signage next to it. Here for the seed. That, of course, ain't what it usually says. The cheeky-ass winky smiley face is there, though. I let out a short sigh.
You fucking idiot.
I turn the handle and pull, but it doesn't budge. The push sign is still nothing. The handle shouldn't turn if it's locked. I'd know. I've been here before when it was. Oh, excuse me. I push once more and am surprised that it gives the door open. I only leave it open a crack, still a bit wary about whatever weirdness lies within. The first thing I notice is the burning smell. It's stronger than it is outside. It's hot as hell, too. If this place had a kitchen, I'd swear something was being overcooked in it. At first, it's quiet. Nothing but the creaking wood beneath my feet. Then... very industrial. I don't know. Music starts to play. I notice the boxy television set in the corner of the room is turned on. A grainy old cricket match on the screen. It's all very much the same from what I remember, except for a lone otter sitting at the bar counter. He's holding something in his, holding something to his head, an ice pack, and he's nursing some shitty import pale ale in his free hand. There's no one else in here but him, at least in the front area.
Hey, you!
The otter's posture stiffens.
Yeah, you! Are you real?
What? He responds back, his tone exasperated and groggy. Confusion. That's a good sign, I guess. I step a little closer, the otter using the bar counter to rotate himself in his swivel bar stool. He's decked out with a skull t-shirt, cargo pants, and one of those lame scout caps that only jarheads, leather daddies, and theater kids wear. What a spread! He seems dazed, squinting at me like I'm a bright light.
Someone turning up the orchestra in here? What?
After a moment, something seems to click and his eyes widen slightly. A long smile crosses his snouty muzzle. What? Such an upgrade from Chase's outfit. No. What should I buy like a Black Skull t-shirt? I don't know. Should I try to dress like Sydney, you know? I know that I'm mostly dressed like Chase, right? I don't know. I don't know if I can pull off the Sydney look. Like, what kind of hat is that? I don't know what I can't do hats, guys. Like, it's so uncomfortable to wear hats for me. I don't know. I have really thick hair, really thick head feathers, you know. And it's just like it feels so uncomfortable to wear a hat.
Motherfucker!
He pushes himself to his feet, making his way through the bar's haze. Cool.
What are you doing here, you big-ass bitch?
He clasps my shoulders roughly, then pulls me into a tight hug. Oh, he's holding the ice pack? Wait, is that what is in his hand? Wait. Just noticed that. For an otter, he's got a strong grip. And I actually irk aloud as he pats my back.
What the fuck? What the hell are you doing?
After a moment, he pulls away, raising a shadowed brow beneath his hat. It's then that I notice his eyes, baby blue, almost gray. Not a common color for his kind of otter. There's some bags under them though, like he hasn't slept in some time, just like me for fur.
I was fixin' to ask you the same thing. It's been dead all night. I wasn't expecting company.
Josh's favorite character. Look, serious. For one thing, hello. And for a second thing, Leo is still my favorite character, you know? So my tier list typically goes like Leo and the three otters. Which is, you know, like, you know, because it's like you got, yeah, it's Leo, Chase, Sydney, and Bronson. Like those are the lads that I like a lot, for bad reasons, you know. And
it's kind of unreal seeing you here like this, though. It's been.
He huffs, astonished with a slight air of sheepishness.
Well, a while.
He folds his arms over his chest, the otter looking up at me from beneath the brim of his hat with a sort of wry expression. He seems happy to see me. And it's all so familiar.
Wait a second.
I blink.
Jesus fuck. Sid?
He lets out an amused noise, nodding.
Yeah? Wait. Don't you even try to tell me that you're here by coincidence?
He's an adult. Fucking 6 feet tall, I'd reckon. He's in shape too, rocking a full-on muscle shirt. I look around as if expecting to see Chase around a corner with a video camera and shit-eating grin. There's still no one around but us, though.
I'm sure there's a reason I'm here.
And he seems to perk up some, doing a one-handed a finger gun gesture my way while the other nurses an ice pack against his head.
I knew it. I mean, I'm glad, yeah. Did you get my Christmas package? I wasn't sure you'd like it. Saw them in the Macy Mays thrift down in Elwyn. Haunted,
Wait, what is this?
Haunted
Hacinda?
Deadly Love Rivals 2, Final Obsession, The Choir Boy, The Whore Sleuth, shitty B movies I got from the bargain bin. That all sound like you, Flynn?
Do you get to kiss Sid or not? I mean, in your heart of hearts.
You know the sort. Not a lot of plot to get in the way of the film. Plus, I bundled them with a bunch of Crossfire shooting mags. Oh yeah, I also threw in some jerky I got from a trade show after my match in Desert Springs.
What? It's pronounced Hacinda. Okay.
The jerky, it's super good. Hatch green chili flavored. You know, that's where they grow that shit in mass, right? World capital.
No, Josh, it's not. Esto? I can't help but stare, absolutely flabbergasted. This is what he looks like. What he'd look like. When I don't immediately respond, his smile dissipates some.
Maybe you, don't get it. Fucking delivery guys, right. Probably some weasel or something with a good smeller.
He honks his own black nose.
Pen and pining for my jerky. Am I fucking dreaming right now? Am I asleep? Or just tripping?
The otter, Sydney, he's looking at me more, worriedly.
You, wanna sit down or something? Duh.
I look around at the still empty bar. A facade or not, my legs are killing me.
Sure.
Do you think he's just sitting on a rock? Like in real life, right? He's just sitting on a rock in the dark cave? He motions towards some old stool in a velvet bar stool next to a raised table in the corner, and we take a seat. After Sydney grabs his drink, of course. Oh, that's a good CG. That's a good CG. I like that a lot. Yeah.
I don't know where the bartender went. He's usually in the back.
I look towards the smoke room door. Nothing seems to have changed about it.
He? Yeah, he. Big tiger fella. Only guy who works here, as far as I know.
He scrunches his brow, thinking for a moment.
Unless he got a sex change and species change to become a beach blonde bunny with big bouncing tits. I don't think so.
I grunt. What the hell's he talking about?
He was into a dress up in chick panties.
He was into dressing up in chick panties.
But I don't think we're talking about the same person or the same bar.
Sid snickers, looking at me, a little wide-eyed.
Thinking of one of your gay bars, right? The fuck are you talking about? This is the gayest bar in the state. If this was real, there'd be 20 dudes fucking, 20 fucking dudes reaming each other behind the door as we speak, including the bartender.
I point to the familiar no smoking labeled door, my tone more firm now.
Including you!
His comment has a, derisive? Teasing tone. After a second, he blinks, looking back at it over his shoulder to see what I'm pointing at.
You been porking dudes, who go to Clown Town? That's a goddamn tiny janitor's closet. Says so on the door.
I squint at the door. For a brief fleeting moment, I can almost quite make out the little mop and bucket symbol posted in the center. But it's simply not there.
I honestly don't know why I came here tonight. I guess I just had a good feeling in my gut. And by that I mean I saw the picture outside for their Chipotle dust beer nuts, and my stomach got a boner. And I guess it also worked out since I got to see you.
He thrusts his arms towards me, trying to put on a cheeky, sarcastic grin, like he's trying to play off the statement as he realizes how sappy it sounds. There, to my knowledge, has never been advertisements for spiced beer nut posted outside the bar here.
Jesus.
I slowly lean back into my chair, letting out a long exhale.
It's really good to see you, too. More so than you probably know.
Oh, they know. Oh, they know, Flynn. And he opens his muzzle to speak again, but I cut him off.
Sid, why do you think we are? Where do you think we are?
Sorry. He takes a swig of his beer, peering at me for a long moment before examining his surroundings.
It's, you know.
He snaps his fingers a few times.
The bar nut place.
He frowns, shifting his ice pack back into his noggin.
Fuck, I'm just that sauced. I just hit my head real hard on the counter when I was bending over to pick up my phone. Shit, did we have plans to meet here? I genuinely don't fucking know. I sure as hell didn't.
I trail off for a moment, swallowing away the tight feeling in the back of my throat. I pull my phone from my pocket, turning it over in my hands. Still dead.
I wasn't expecting to ever see you again.
His blue eyes widen. The otter gives me that same doe-eyed look he'd give me after we'd been hanging out, and I'd say I have to go. He never wanted to go home.
Look, I know after I bailed on the interview you set up for me, you were pretty pissed. Rightfully so, too. Fully justified, I get that. I know, I fucked up. What? I'm trying to get clean, I swear to shit. It's just so, fucking hard, you know. You're on drugs. No, I mean, not right now. I'm sober as fuck.
I looked to the ale in his paw.
Sans the booze. Look, all the other guys I wrestled with at the roadshow, though, they're all on the shit. Everyone's trying to bulk up and stuff so they actually get a pop when the crowd sees them.
His tone is completely defensive, the otter looking me straight in the eyes, searching for any sign of doubt.
There's this one guy, Cody Altaro, or, well, he goes by the name Rico Renaissance now. He's been getting booked as my rival, and the bastard's up 25 pounds in 2 months. 25 pounds? No way in fuck is he doing that with chicken breasts and protein shakes. Wait. You're telling me you wrestle for a living?
That would explain the muscle shirt and those, tacky-ass wristbands. Oh, anybody wear wristbands?
Like, that's your actual goddamn job. job.
Would you wrestle Sydney? Oh, I'd wrestle Sydney, alright. But maybe not that kind of wrestling. Sydney leans back some, still peering at me with that same searching look.
Yeah, you used to go to my show all the time. SFF. Sunday Fun Day Fights. It's mainly fucking juggalos and shit now, but we get paid in pennies and grass, but, you know, it's a start. I'm tough.
Oh. Hashtag Noracore. He sniffs, eyes drifting down to his arms on the sticky table surface. He doesn't seem grossed out by it. Orion told me they never clean up the front anymore. Said not to touch the underside of the table since they're packed solid with two things, gum and cum. I notice patchy areas in the fur near the inner elbow, and it takes me a moment to register. He's got fucking injection marks. He seems to see me staring and pulls back his arms. I gawk at him for a moment, and he braces himself for whatever I'm about to say. It gives me a sinking feeling in my gut, but it makes sense. I am reading. With the shit Sid dealt with growing up, every sign was pointing towards him getting some sort of chemical addiction down the road.
It ain't just roids, is it? Yeah, well, you know me. I take some shit for, you know, the mental stuff. Mental stuff? I'm assuming it ain't prescription. You assume correctly.
He speaks slowly, twiddling his thumbs on his lap, his eyes dancing from the bottle in front of him to me and back again. I'm not sure what to say. We sort of just sit there in awkward silence.
I know you never really understood all the funky stuff going on in my head. I just want to thank you for sticking around as long as you did. Can't say the same for anyone else. I'm not really an easy person to have the back of, especially when I'm one person 1 minute and another the next.
I remember the shit Chase was talking about earlier, about the incident at the ice cream place in Pueblo. The way he just clicked and changed. He continues speaking, the otter shifting his thick tail listlessly behind him.
And your roommate, Dax. Thanks as well. I know y'all both really tried to get me the stable job at that print shop. But fuck, it would have never worked out. A schizo like me can't hold a position like that.
Instead of Carl, Sydney was the one I would have been helping. You probably would have just abandoned Carl. Or Carl would have stayed in college with Chase. And, would have had Sydney all to himself, Flinny boy. I realize he's still out there, caught up in all of this hysteria without me while I'm stuck in this place.
Sid. This isn't real.
The otter gives me another strange look. He clearly was expecting me to be acting much differently than I am now. Like, he'd been preparing to speak to me for some time now, and I've completely derailed his plans to get a lot of the shit he wants off his chest. Josh, Carl would have died? Would he? Eto. Give me a minute. Well, I guess like in the car crash, right? Maybe I killed him. Would I kill Carl? Yeah, I'd kill Carl.
You're not real. I'm just fucking dreaming right now. I thought you couldn't dream. You used to get annoyed as hell with me when I'd go off about the shit I dream about. Yeah, well, I am now. How you would even know what a dream was if you had one? After all, you look more like you just woke up.
I shake my head, watching the blurry brown and black form in front of me shift from side to side. I keep expecting him to just not be there when my vision refocuses.
Look, let me just lay this shit out plain like. You can't be here. You're dead. You drowned over a decade ago in Lake Emma. I think Chase did it.
Or at least I think he did it. Sydney looks uncomfortable, as if a slight semblance that this is all from some elaborate, fun ruse I'm pulling on him is looking increasingly unlikely.
Okay, well, that didn't happen. No nuts. And Chase? That twink couldn't hurt a fly.
He sighs, rotating his empty bottle of pale on the table and smearing the ring of condensation that formed beneath it.
I'm fucking right here, and I just want to talk to you.
See, James? I'm real. It's a good scene. It's a good scene to pull from. His tone returns. His tone turns terse, even. Hurt, even.
No shit, Bird. You died. TJ saw 2 bodies with brown fur writhing in the water before you drowned. They all thought you died on your own somehow, like you passed out or some shit. But I knew better.
I see a flicker of realization in Sydney's eyes, and again, he shifts uncomfortably.
I think I remember what you're talking about. But I'm not dead. I'm here, motherfucker. Feel me.
He reaches across the table and takes my wrist, squeezing hard. It's like he's trying to give me an Indian rub burn, like he used to. I yank back my hand.
Fuck off!
He stares wide-eyed at me, his maw slightly agape. A moment passes before he speaks again.
Why are you acting like this? Like you can't fucking just enjoy goddamn company. Plus, you're so damn intense. You're not even high right now.
This isn't fucking fair.
I'm your goddamn best friend. Hell, you're like my gay, scaly brother.
It can't fuck with me like this. This is too real. I quickly shake my head, closing my eyes.
You're dealing with me right now, not the thing inside my head. And that's fucking becoming a rarer and rarer thing these days, so I'm just really trying to enjoy what time I've got. Just talk to me. I don't want to think.
He trails off, staring down at his lap.
Think about what?
There it is. The change. The music seems to sound further and further away until it dissipates entirely.
Huh. Maybe you're right, Flynn. What the fuck are you talking about?
The sick heat left forgotten in conversation began crawling up my back. Grabbing onto the table to help maintain my own posture, it's clear that something has shifted. The little bit of light in Sydney's eyes, just gone.
2 bodies. What? 2 bodies, right? I remember now. Man, that shit fucking sucked, didn't it?
Shifting uncomfortably, the topic has reversed onto what he had previously denied.
2 bodies, Sid. You're fucking dead. I saw you. I looked into your face and I saw nothing.
I grip the edge of my seat, my gut feeling like it's twisting in on itself. It's like I'm standing in front of a roaring fireplace, the smell of smoke and flesh, ash licking my nostrils while the heat tickles my scales. Sydney's gone forever, and all that's left is this.
Who are you?
It feels different than me. The thing that isn't Sydney looks around. This is not the smoke room. It looks like it, but not to me. The otter continues to stare off to the side before seeming to realize I asked the question.
Sam, I am.
While he speaks, he points towards you, across the table with both hands. I forgot that he actually says his name. Kinda neat, kinda neat. Oh, and we did see the photograph earlier in this route, so I guess, like, even without context, you can kind of, like, piece that together. Like, on your first route, if you're paying attention. While he speaks, he points towards you, across the table with both hands. There's something metal in his grasp, long and with a barbed end. I can't make out what it is exactly. I swallow, and try to speak evenly.
Who's Sam?
What,
a facsimile of a person that was.
I'm dabbing? Dabbing? Dab, dab. Eto. Whoops. Eto. I forgot A is on there. I forgot that I had mapped A to that. Is what it is. Get fucked. I know how to fix that. It's happened a lot. That's just what happens when you push A in what's it called? In Renpai games. It takes you to that menu. It's a shortcut for that. I'm dabbing myself with ink, so I never dry. But it smudges. Ah. That's pretty good. That's a neat transition. That wasn't in the base game. Oh, but that does mean we don't get the transition for when it like when the portrait distorts originally. When you look towards the smoke room, you know? The good moment when Darian was kind of like, oh, I'm spoked! Neat. It's different. A simulation. In here, I become we with you.
Me?
Wait, me? We. Me. Yes. No? I don't know that word. I'm not sure I hear the first part correctly.
At first, they came through the gate. Then, they come through the stars.
There's a pause.
Did they come for you?
He looks at me, and I feel my legs begin to shake. I tremble, wishing I was anywhere but here.
The others before. They bounce, undulating in constant restless motion.
The hollowed figure heaves, breathing heavily as he sways Sydney's body up and down. He stares at me with eyes that remind me of the fish Carl and I caught at the pond.
But that's not what you want. You want the answers. After all, it's a bit late for love, and too still for lust. I just fucking need to know what happened. To Sydney, so that the hysteria stops and that everyone else is safe again. That could help. But are you sure you really want to know? You can chase the truth until you're red in the face.
The thing looks over towards the smoke room door. What was once Sydney raises his arm to point at it with unnatural, stuttery movement.
It ebbs and flows like the tide. You can ride it. Each time the tide comes in, it's a little less of what it once was. Abstracted. It goes where sorrow sprouts, and takes with it what it can, before rolling back out. Some tides are particularly large.
He waves a blurred paw at me, and again I see the metal thing grasp in his paw. He seems to see me looking at it and and holds it in front of me.
You burn them all down around you until only the truth remains. You needn't the superficial. Wait.
Excuse me.
Superfluous.
I know the word. Damn it. I can't get there, but I know the word. A kindling.
For those are but the lies they tell others, and eventually themselves. You'd make a good detective if you weren't marinating in your nepotistic squalor. Unlovable, shameful, a sin to all who initially cared for you. Truly only belonging among the sawdust, semen and ash, thoughts drowned out amidst the moaning and groaning of unfamiliar shadows. The only one who precisely knew you, who precisely loved you, ushered into the tide by those you thought fondly of. And justice denied again and again.
He pressed his barbed tip of the rod into the table.
There were 6, and now there's 5.
The distorted otter is looking at the thing in his grasp, and as he says this, it's a fire poker. I hesitate to speak, my mouth feeling dry and my forked tongue caught between my teeth.
Yeah, I get it, but... Are you what I saw earlier, in Leo's van?
No.
Do you... know what I'm talking about?
Yes. We were there. We? He keeps saying we.
Well, what I just saw with Sydney, was that real?
It could be. Somewhere in here. He seems to be referring to the poker. I reach for it, but my hand can't quite touch the metal. It phases right through it. The hollowed thing just stares at me, watching my futile attempt. Slowly, I raise to my feet, my legs a gelatin, like as I wobble some. I manage to steady myself with my tail, grasping the sticky table for support. The distorted otter just watches me somehow, looking almost eager. With no small amount of trepidation, I begin approaching the smoke room door, the sound of crackling flames growing louder and closer I get. This has to be it. The alternative being doing nothing, which, while real damn appealing, probably wouldn't stop what's going to happen. If that's how this works, that is. I grasp the handle.
Fuck me!
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Many have. I stop, looking around over my shoulder. The figure is leering closer now.
Fuck you too!
Many have. As I turn back to face the door, I swear I see the shape smile. I turn the knob and step inside. Oh, it's the, was this the background they used before? Because it's the smoke room stage, but with all the lights off. Oh, shit. I don't remember that being used. The air is absolutely electric, and I feel myself involuntarily shiver. I brace myself against the wood-sided wall. Huh. Okay. I don't remember this music either. But, you know, it's been a while. It's been a very long time since I played this. I brace myself against the wood-sided wall, staring through the darkness. I've never seen it this empty before, and I get the sensation in my gut that something terrible happened here. Looking back, I don't think the shape followed me.
I'm still here. God damn it! Leave me alone!
I feel my blood chill. But I keep moving. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. This version of the smoke room is impossibly large. I keep walking through the darkness, expecting to reach an end, but it doesn't happen. It just keeps looping in on itself. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I hear a sharp crack, a gunshot, followed by a low cry. Someone's wailing. It doesn't sound like it's coming from inside, but rather a reverberating noise outside, far away. Sorry, I'm gonna turn down the game audio a little bit. Looks a little loud. The whole room begins to vibrate, as if activated. The rumbling, it's stronger on one side of the room. I walk in that direction. As I approach, I hear more wailing, more voices, some sounding different and rather close. Flynn! Now they're huffing and puffing, the sound of hooves and soft feet upon a stone floor. Ah, okay. They're trying to catch up to me at the other end of the long, cavernous hallway. The rebarb from before. Jesus, I'm not in the smoke room. I just saw the description of the stream. Why did I fuck up the description again? No, okay. Okay. I'm in the mines. And it's very, very hot. I feel my whole body rumble, like shock waves are bouncing my insides. Kinetic energy, electricity, like 1,000 subwoofers reverberating from the stone walls. We're here.
The source. The seed. Dude! Stay back!
Initially, it's like a cold shower, an icy sensation that presses against my front and washes over me like a tide. I recoil, but there's nothing to withdraw back to. At first measure, gone? Huh. At first measure, the body is unable to discern extreme cold from extreme heat, though that time soon passes, and the feeling burns all too real. I can feel it seep in between the cracks of my scales and lick at the very vulnerable flesh beneath. I'm standing in fire, but I don't see it. I see nothing. I can't even tell where it's coming from. Wherever I go, the burning follows. The fabric of my clothes ripple, and the seams begin to snap away. Some of it falls to the floor, while the rest clings to my body like new skin. Even the air I breathe burns, making my insides boil. This isn't my head. This isn't in my head. This is real. I'm burning. I flail into the darkness, running now. After a while, it feels like I'm practically gliding. I hear a sound and move towards it.
Fucking help me!
I utter, my voice raspy and light. Ah! Footsteps. There are several of them, and a bonfire. Oh, is it the bonfire? I see the silhouette of people running, flailing about just like me. Panic everywhere. A woman, Genevieve Saunders, the mail carrier, is standing above the fire. A gun in her hands, Salem's body is burning, and beside her is Auntie, face down with a bloody hole in the back of her head.
No!
I pinch myself, trying to wake up. I pinch so hard, I feel the scale on my arm split in half, and blood that seems like it's boiling, pools from it. It quickly evaporates, and all that's left is a mark of reddish-pink flesh beneath, scar tissue. I look up, and she's still standing there, a mouth agape like she's frozen, but her eyes follow me in real time. She sees me, but it's like she can't act.
Why? Fucking why?
I receive no answer from the horrible visage. She's still holding the gun. She'll do it again. She'll do it again. Stop her. Okay. I lunge, but it's like she's made of sand. Flesh dissolves away beneath my claws as I touch her. And then it's like a rope wrapped around my wrist yanks me back. The wind is like a skyscraper. Yeah, wait, no, it's not skyscraper. I'm seeing things. The wind is like sandpaper against my burning head as I fly through blurred shapes and silhouettes. What'd I do? Was that real? Oh God, Auntie. Jesus fuck, what's happening? Next thing I know, I'm in front of Silly Hall again. Though everything's different. There's a crowd gathered around the large tree outside, and their clothes are all old-timey like. Men in suspenders, women in prairie gowns. Their faces are fierce blurs. Polygonal masses of fur and teeth that seem to exude their emotions more strongly than their distant facial features. A Meseta Fennec stands atop a wooden stool, with a noose wrapped around his neck, the priest next to him reading his last rites. The man is so angry, so hurt, tears like waterfalls down his matted yellow cheeks. Someone hurls a piece of hardtack that hits him square in the head, but he doesn't react. The cries of the crowd are obscured, distorted, something about a child or children. There's a man at the edge of the crowd, a ram, the one the Fennec is staring at. He looks like Carl. The ram pivots on his hooves, turning and walking away, but stops when he sees me, his expression vacant. The Fennec shouts indiscernible hatred at the man, but just then the stool is kicked out from beneath him. As he sways, feet kicking and driblets of piss cascading down his overalls, it's as if the ground itself begins to bounce. It's something so palpable and awful that it's beyond words, that I can feel within my mind more rapidly than the burning of my flesh. Oh, I guess I can turn back up the game audio. Let's hear that industrial sounds, you know? It feels very almost Silent Hill 1, you know? Just the industrial noises in the background all the time. Kind of love it. The stony faces of the mob seem completely unaware that their actions are feeding something for far greater than they ever will. I'm sucked away again, and I feel my scales fall from my body like black and orange confetti. My thudding heartbeat is becoming increasingly irregular. Ah, there we go! This is where we want to be. Oh, bitch, you live like this? I'm standing behind a shelf now. There's someone in a hoodie next to me, but he doesn't notice I'm here. He's got a camcorder. I think it's Salem. He's younger. A large bear, larger than me by a couple inches, steps out from what looks like a bathroom door. It's Brian, meth dealer who lives in a trailer on the outskirts of the old city limits. I see him at the smoke room sometimes. He deals there. And neither of them are looking in my direction. I soon see why. There's a fennec on what looks like a rack nearby. One of his eyeballs is gone, but he's still alive. On the television behind Brian is a slideshow of grotesque images flashing by. One of the Phoenix's missing eyes on the smoke room counter. It looks like the place was closed, so nobody could walk in and see what they were doing. In the real world, the Phoenix words are garbled and distorted, as if coming out of an old VHS. The feigning love from the bear, for the bear, that's what it says, asking for him to hold him tender-like, instead of whatever else he has planned. The Phoenix face becomes increasingly blurry. Is that Danny? Casey? Keith? There were so many. They blur together. Salem's grinning, the reflection of his camcorder screen leaving a stark glint in his eyes. I feel myself move out from behind the shelf, beyond my own will. There's a rumble, pull in my gut. I'll be pulled away at any moment now. My scar-bodied lunges at the Phoenix's head. And the Phoenix head is crushed. The brain and all of the fears and pain contained within, gone in an instant.
They're real!
As I'm pulled away, I can just make out the astonished face of Brian. He looks like he's in awe, a sense of knowing underlining his fucked up features. Salem doesn't take his gaze off the camcorder screen. I gasp in the void, the fresh blood mixed with my own. My actions no longer feel entirely of my own volition, like it's something pulling in my skull. Like back at City Hall when I condemned Chase. We make the justice we're given. I plot back in front of the familiar ram and salamander, like all of that had happened was some horrible vision. But my body feels the same, and the gaping expressions on the duos show no sign of relief.
Carl?
I can barely make the noise from my throat the way it is. I can practically feel my vocal cords snap away as I speak, letting me only exude a guttural growl. I reach out to him, seeing the Sinwi? How is this word pronounced? Sinwi? Red appendage of my arm has become. Yeah, I'm not gonna yell. Sorry, guys. The tunnel shakes around me. Carl and Dax both turn and flee. A salamander screaming in his absolute lungs out. I'm terrifying to them. As they're about to round the corner, I see Carl hesitate. He looks back to me. I can't see his expression, and I can't call out to him. I have to let him know I'm still in here. With some strained effort, I turn my wrist around and close it. All but one of my fingers. The ram continues to stare as the rumble increases. I'm pulled away once more. It goes on like this. At every stop, I lose more of myself mentally and physically. Each visage that appears before me, some new unspeakable evil I haven't fathomed existing. I love that. Flipping them off being the thing to show it's still him. Yeah, it's funny. From time to time, I let the thing inside my head take more and more control. Sometimes I don't have to control it in the first place, when the suffering is strongest. Where Sam thrives, he drives. Terrible! Like my body, I become numb. All but my vision and hearing is gone, and they're swiftly fading too. I keep closing my eyes, waiting for it to end, but it doesn't. I can't die. There it is. I hear the soft pitter of feet on the rocky embankment. Somewhere down the way, stones are being skipped. Someone threw in a big one. Then, sniffling, followed by a low sob. Crying has become a familiarity to me. I hear it more than anything else. It feels like... It's like singing, isn't it? Purest expression of emotion. Fuck you. But this one is more familiar. To me as well. I can just make out the audible sound of little pebbles rolling down a hill, followed by a heavy thud. I turn to see a faint gray silhouette with big blue eyes.
What?
The voice hits me like electricity. This is it. It's what he saw that day on the beach by the outlet. Finally. He screams. They always scream. I have to follow him. I have to see. I descend beneath the waves as I see excess fat, drift from my body into the tidal current. The water is abrasive, but I'm able to glide through it, swimming without swimming. Something pops, and suddenly I can't see from my left eye. There's white water ahead, thrashing movement. A slight bit of reddish pink mist dissolves in the current in front of me. No. Oh. I'm liking these improvements to these scenes. Like it comes off very different than before, but that's really neat. No. I strain myself to hear, trying to keep absolutely still. But other than the faint, occasional splash, there's nothing. Eventually, the splashing stops, and I know my best friend is dead. I rest in the current, and the voice in my mind is fortuitously silent, not pressing me into movement or action. And though my eyesight is gone, and my skull punctuated with nothing but empty sockets and orifices, I see something. Bright blue eyes and starry skin. It's Daxton. I'm sure of it. He does not move, though I can read the intent in his eyes that he very much wants to. Instead, he remains motionless, and we stare at each other. I imagined speaking to him, telling him what's happened to me. My words are rambling, my mind not what it used to be, but it doesn't seem to matter. He meets my gaze regardless. I ask him if Carl's alright, and of course he doesn't respond. I then simply state that I hope he's okay. I go on and tell him about all the crap the Ram and I have been through, about how much I hope he fucking makes it out decently enough. I'm sure they'll give him another shot at the interview on account of town-wide madness. I tell him I hope it's over now. Wherever he is. And finally, I apologized for what an absolute ass I was to him when he deserved goddamn none of my angsty bullshit. He never showed any indication of understanding or even blinking. Most surprisingly of all, it feels as though hours pass and the hysteria simply holds on, whisking me away. No rumbling, no fire, no screeches into sudden chaos. Just a slow, eventual feeling of drifting away somewhere else. Somewhere dry. There's the telltale sound of a hot water heater rumbling nearby. It's humming away. Someone must be taking a shower, or it's laundry day. I feel the vibration more than I actually hear the thing. Then a faint whimper. The sound is stifled, as if the upset individual is trying to hold back tears. It's high-pitched, feminine. A girl. The distortion is only slight. I bring my hand up and feel wooden slates, and when I push harder, the whole surface bends and folds outward. It's a closet door. The stifling stops. Slowly, I hold up my hand and do a little wave. Gentle movements, as I'm sure the distortion is making it look fast. It's quiet. All I can hear is the water heater in the girl's room. There's the shuffling of sheets, then small footsteps. Hi. Her voice is timid. There's another long pause. Are you real? I think for a moment. Then slowly I shake my head. Oh. Oh. It's like the best route, guys. I forgot it was when your arms were around me that's there. Oh wait, isn't that an Arch's portrait? Yeah, I still really like that route. I do still think that what is it? That Flynn's route is like I think it's the best one. It's just so good. It's so good. It's my favorite modern Silent Hill game. Like oh, it is just the Arch's portraits. Okay. I cried the first time I finished this route. Huh, neat. What, canon to an extent? I did. I mean, they show like the timeline thingy. Like so it's like, yeah, like all of them. Like can be, kind of, it is. It is what it is. These are still nice backgrounds though, even though they're from Arches. I like the new programming for like how how everything plays out post the you going into the mine. Like, oh, that's neat. I like all of that. It's an improvement. Yeah, it's really cool. Cause there really weren't many changes in Leo's route, right? None that I noticed. So this has me a little curious on if the other routes got overhauled, like programming wise. It's you know, has me curious, has me kind of excited to go into like the last 3 routes to redo them. Oh, here, let me turn down the game audio real quick. Special thanks. There is an after credit scene, right? For over the past 7 years, that feels insane. That just feels insane. I'll stay for a while. That's kind of funny that it lets you choose whether to watch the epilogue or not. That's Did it do that before? Odd. 5 years later. Oh, do we get to see them? Wait, do we get to see their portraits? Wait. Eh? I'm excited. I've only seen the new portraits in the game files, but I haven't seen them in the game itself.
Seriously, this is gonna be a good fucking time. You'll be glad you came.
The big grizzly bear nudges the coyote playfully, almost knocking the canine into the passenger window. Ow! Keep your paws on the wheel, or your paw at least. Cameron eyes the giant half-eaten burger and the bear's equally giant paw. Devin's other paw casually steers the wheel, elbow resting out through the open window. The bear looks happier than he's been in a while, somehow grinning as he chews. The coyote sighs and stares out his own window, watching the desert landscape fly by. It was nothing like this in his hometown, and he found himself wishing he was back amongst the pine forests. Something he's been wishing since he'd moved to Pueblo for school. Technically, he was in his natural habitat, but he found the whole place depressing somehow. Empty and dry and rough.
Oh, what you pouting about?
I'm not pouting.
Yeah, you are.
Cameron sighs, deciding to change the subject. So, why couldn't Larry go again?
I don't know. Something about his car breaking down. I think he just flaked, though.
Aren't there other haunted places in Pueblo that we could have gone to? Like, by the school. The bear shakes his head, letting go of the wheel to crumple up the foil that had packaged his sandwich, tossing it into the back.
Not like Echo, dude. This place is the most haunted town in the entire fucking world.
Cameron sighs once again, then suddenly grasps his seat as the car swerves and turns hard onto a smaller road, heading toward a big blue lake. What the fuck?
Whoops, sorry. Almost missed the turn.
The drive continues, and eventually the map on the dash chimes, indicating we've reached their destination. Why?
Because a lot of shit happened here.
The grizzly hops out of the car, making the entire thing tilt sideways as he squeezes his bulk out before reaching back for the camera bag. He takes out a small, compact camcorder from inside and wraps it around his wrist. He flicks a switch and Cameron sees the familiar red recording light flashing. He points the lens at the coyote and he quickly covers his face, letting out a flustered sigh. Look at him. Look at this lad. He's so tired looking. He's so tired looking. He's trying to like smack my face, like not my face, my hand on his face. Just like, stop looking like that. Smile. It's not the horror you're after, Dev. With that, he unbuckles and slides out the car. Oh, look at him. Look at him. He still's got his puffy ring, his neck forwards. He's a good lad. The bear waits for him, reaching out a large padded paw. Cameron takes it and is immediately drawn into a tight embrace and a kiss. The coyote tenses up for a moment, then waits until Devin releases him. Ugh, can you not do that right after you eat a big greasy hamburger? Cameron makes a show of wiping his lips. Devin rolls his eyes.
No pleasing you, is there?
Not on this trip. Nevertheless, the grizzly holds out his paw again, and Cameron takes it, the two of them walking towards the town center. It's not a pleasant walk. Most of the infrastructure is pretty shoddy condition. Overgrown in places, places, sagebrush and dry vegetation. So, where are we meeting this guy?
I told you, the old civic building.
Wait, you mean City Hall? Shoddy? I don't know. Cameron recalls the late-night rant with Devin over the phone, the bear regaling every last detail of the incident. Where they shot the mayor?
Yup.
The coyote releases his paw from the large, clawed grip of his boyfriend, peering up at him with slightly wider eyes. I'm making fun of you? Okay. As long as... Damn, are you absolutely sure he's okay with this?
Yeah, look, he's the one who did the report on the town after the happenings in the first place.
Devin tries to put on a reassuring smile. He seems, keenly, yes, that's what that word is, aware that folks sometimes find this large predator grin unnerving, but Cameron always told him it was cute.
And he's gay, so, you know.
I mean, Devin, I don't understand what that has to do with anything. The bear wraps his paw around Cameron's own.
No need to be worried about that.
Eventually, the two reach the old town center. Sure enough, there's a man standing in the gravel parking lot with paws in his pockets. He doesn't appear to notice the two at first, and Devin takes the opportunity to film him from afar. The sun's behind him, so it casts his front in shadowed silhouette, giving him an eerie visage, which he might be able to use in the video. The civic building's roof is fully collapsed, a faded gray tarp over the top of the walls, all that's protecting the interior. It's most of the like most of the structures they passed on the way in. A laminated a notice of condemnation. Yes. Is stamped with the county seal is posted on the front. After about 15 seconds or so, it's fairly clear the older guy is aware of the two college kids' presence as he cants his head in their direction. They quickly shuffle up, wearing sheepish smiles and already sweat-stained clothing. Yes.
Chase?
Yo. Hi. The bearded otter seems to be looking at their held paws, which they quickly unclasp and shake his own head. He offers them a sort of melancholic smile. Musky shit is here. Don't be mean. Don't be mean to Chase. He's actively trying his best here. You two been together long? Oh, sorta. The coyote rubs the back of his neck, the bear wrapping an arm around his shoulder.
Yup, a while. It must have been tough growing up in the sticks out here, for a gay guy especially.
Chase lets out a little amused grunt, reaching into his pockets and withdrawing a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, I guess. My ex still lives down off, Gretchen Way. By the old railroad. Really? I forgot about that comment. He still just lives there? What? He didn't move? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense for this route. He probably thinks he's still living with Chase. Devin nods.
Couldn't sell his property after what happened.
Does Leo ever move away? In Leo's route, yes. Remember, he says that he's moving back in with his parents in that route. I think if you talk to Leo during the party, he moves away. Yeah. I think so. Well, that and some other shit that we don't really need to get into. Oh, well, regardless, must have been tough being the only gay kids out here growing up. Yeah, us and one other gay. And one other guy. One other gay. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I'm Gomena, sorry. He sniffles, looking off to the side. Y'all mind if I smoke? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, plenty of fresh air out here. I don't mind.
The otter nods, sticking the cigarette between his lips and flicking his lighter. However, he doesn't bring the flame up, instead just holding it out in front of him. The seconds pass, and slowly he shifts the lighter in the direction of the old civic building. Cameron and Devin watch the otter expectantly. After everything he's been through, some oddball behavior is to be expected after all.
So, I'm a big fan of your original report you did. Hell, I did my own little video on what happened when I was first starting my channel.
I know. You used a lot of my footage. Devin begins looking a little nervous, laughing some to try and lighten the mood.
I credited you, of course. I'm just some, hunting vlogger. You're like a professional journalist and everything.
Chase finally lights a cigarette. Was.
Huh?
Was a professional journalist. I got pushed out of my reporting gig with KGUA like 2 years ago now. No one liked my stuff anymore, no matter what I did. It wasn't even as good as that piece I finished in college. Devin blinks.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He pauses, thinking to himself for a moment.
You know, that news media companies are all fascists. Shit factories anyway.
Dev.
Without all the big billionaires funding, they'd be going the way of the dinosaurs. Relegated to sports and weather for senior citizens.
Chase stares blankly at the much taller bear, unsure of how to respond to that. Devin clears his throat.
And, your social media profile says you were still,
I haven't updated that in a while.
Oh.
Chase takes a long drag of his cigarette, stopping at the first speed bump. He seems to become increasingly aware of the uneasy stares from the two college kids in front of him. Sorry, it's been a difficult few years for me. The statement from the otter makes sense, looking at him now. He's awfully haggard for someone in his mid to late 20s. His facial scruff? Facial. Don't know why that hurt. I don't know what happened there. His facial scruff untrimmed and the dye job looking less than stellar. Cameron can't help but think he'd be cute if he'd cleaned himself up a bit. Cameron. You're cute. Chase, less cute. Chase is not that cute of an individual. His personality is a little cute, you know. But himself? Nah. Or perhaps he just has a thing for sad eyes. Does Devin have sad eyes? I mean, I guess he did lose, like, a family member. His said sad eyes were fixated upon the civic building now. Chase's lips thinning tightly around his cigarette, squeezing ash from the tip. Leo Route Chase, he's pretty good. I do like Leo Route Chase a lot. I like him a lot. I also legitimately like Carl Route Chase. Those are the two that get it off pretty good, I think. Like I think back and I'm like those are like the best two epilogues for Chase. I don't know. The coyote steps up, placing a paw on the otter's shoulder. Hey, it's all right. We don't want to put any pressure on you. Right, Dev?
Right.
Devin sounds genuinely supportive. Chase can see why Cameron might be so taken with him. It would be nice to have someone like that again, and he finds himself relishing the paw on his shoulder. He didn't realize he was so touch-starved. Still, Chase couldn't help but avoid their reassuring gaze, the otter rubbing at the old spider bite mark on his neck. Let's begin, shall we? The trio begin to head northward, past the burnt-out newer buildings that went up in smoke during the hysteria. Devin finds an odd-looking globe broken in the middle of the road. Why is there attention put on it? Tell me your secrets, Globe-chan! Tell me! Okay. Cameron offers to carry it with them, though Devin seems rather adamant on not looting anything. Chase doesn't appear to care either way. Eventually, they arrive at the outskirts of the nearby mine, where warning signs posted damn near everywhere. It looks like barbed wire fencing had started being erected along the main entrance. Though Chase mentions the county gave up on trying to fully enclose it a couple months ago, after folks kept cutting through it. So, there's more than one entrance to the mine here. They're all barred off now. I mean, the main entrance was locked up tight even before the crap show 5 years ago. Devin sets up the tripod, pointing it toward the black void between the rocks.
This is where they found the bodies.
Chase shakes his head. That was off the side entrance in the A level. This is the main entrance. It goes all the way from A to F level. How deep does it go? It depends. Oh, how deep is that? Sorry. The deepest shaft goes down 1900 feet. Jeez. Chase holds up his hand, gesturing behind him. It's been like half a century since the mine's been active, so rotting supports and the like must certainly have caved in most of it. My Devin nods, and a tight frown crosses the bear's broad muzzle. It's clear he's got something on his mind.
What about, the one guy?
Huh?
The mayor's nephew. I've read the report and all, but what's your take on what happened?
Chase hesitates for a moment, not having expected the question. Or at least hoping it wouldn't come up at all. The otter steps back, bringing his fingertips up to the bars of the mine. He touches them and the cave wall that they're embedded in. He draws back and shows the two his blackened fingertips. The cave is scorched. Well, the theory is there was flammable gases that was ignited in the lowest level. It created this sustained burn that started billowing smoke up in the air for a couple of weeks after the whole happening.
Yeah, I know about that. Why did he walk inside while it was like that? You were one of the last people to see him, after all. And those other two, they said they'd stopped him. They couldn't stop him after you left.
They said they couldn't stop him after. Okay. So like you just Flynn just ignored Carl and Daxton, kind of like how Chase ignored those two earlier. Okay. Chase looks away, staring off into space. He says nothing, and soon Devin and Cameron are exchanging nervous glances at one another. Next thing they know, the otter is walking off without another word.
Wait, hold on!
He swears under his breath, Cameron looking on with crossed arms as Chase heads towards his car.
Aw, fuck!
He's not gonna... Oh, damn, he totally is.
What the hell?
Devin whines.
Fuck! I was being insensitive, wasn't I?
You never know when you strike a nerve with these kind of things.
These kind of things? What do you mean?
Devin quirks a curious brow towards the coyote. Though, judging by his grimaced reaction, Cam regrets bringing it up and doesn't speak further. And they hear the sound of an engine starting in the distance. Devin sighs. Good thing we brought our Jeep instead of riding with him, huh?
Fuck!
Cameron frowns, reaching up and holding the coyote. And holding the big guy's arm. Okay. Hey, don't worry. I'll get the camera. Exploring on our own could be pretty cool, right? The bear's nostrils flare in the hefty exhale.
Yeah, I'll pull the Jeep around.
No, don't leave Cameron alone. No. Scared for him. Cameron gives Devin a thumbs up before moving to grab the camera. As he's about to close the viewfinder display, he notices a green square appear in the center of the frame. He leans down to look more closely, pressing the display adjust button. Face detection disabled. The square vanishes. Huh. He hits the button again. The square returns. That's weird. He flicks the switch on the side to auto-white balance the image. The whole screen flashes as the lights adjust, and as it comes into focus... Fuck! A lizard stands in the darkness behind the bars. But he can't stare, not really, because his eyes are gone. Half of his muzzle missing. Cameron jumps back, tripping over the rocks and landing against the sharp edges. The coyote hisses in pain, but fear spurs him on, trying to scramble up the rocks after Devin. The bear is already turned around, though, reaching down to pull Cameron up.
Shit, you alright? What happened?
As Cameron clings to the large bear, he looks back, but nothing's there. I don't know, I saw... Devin looks at in the same direction, squinting. Cameron stares a while longer, then turns back and shakes his head against Devin's chest. When Cameron looks up at the bear, he's grinning through.
Holy shit! Did you see a ghost?
The coyote scowls. What? No! I just thought I saw something. It was probably the camera glitching out. The bear gives him a knowing smile. What?
You're gonna be a believer by the end of all of this. I know it!
The grizzly hugs him tightly, and Cameron frowns, still looking back at the cavern's entrance. It had been so real. But before he can even really collect himself, Devin is pulling him and the camera along, back to the Jeep. Oh, I like that epilogue a lot. Ugh. It's so good, guys. It's so good. I love Cammy Boy. Cammy Boy is so cute. Is Cam still psychic in this epilogue? Well, he saw a ghost. He saw a ghost. Isn't that fun? While the sun's still out, you go facts. You just... I mean, we know that Leo is still there, right? They could drive to Leo and get an interview from him. Wouldn't that be cute? I think that would be cute. Imagine how disheveled, like, Leo would look after 5 years of this. Like, in this route. Especially in this, the Flynn route that I chose, where Leo is not okay. He is not okay. It is what it is. Yeah, they get to they couldn't finish the interview at Chase, but they can totally interview Shadow Chase. Like, Leo basically turns into Brian too. Oh, wouldn't that be a fun version of Arches, where instead of Brian, it's a crazed Leo instead? Oh, oh now wait a minute. Yeah. They try to interview Brian. Wouldn't that be fun? It would be fun. I don't like that laugh. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? But all right. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Are we gonna do TJ or Carl's route next? I might put up a poll. I want to save Jenna's route for last. I think she's the best one to do last. So we'll do TJ or Carl. One of the two. Let's break the poll. Amazing. Tej? Oh my god, of course you all would say fucking TJ. Of course you all would say TJ. That little bitch. Carl's route's gonna be a slog once the hysteria hits. It's okay. We'll just, can we get away with not reading Carl's route? The downside is I do genuinely like, the epilogue to, Carl's route. Unfortunate. It's like the only route in this game that, like, answers, like, the question about Chase's, like, career path and, like, his schooling. It, like, doesn't really get brought up in other routes, really. It's, like, just in Carl's route. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. But anyway, guys, I'll be ending the stream. I hope you have all enjoyed. And I'll see you guys around.